Today will probably be a quick one because we don't have a specific topic yet. Can I screen share? Yeah. Okay. Right. Thanks everybody for coming again to SIPCO number 47. Today just going to be open floor discussion. If anybody got anything to bring up, yeah. So yeah, let's just get started. I don't know if you've all been here before, but if you haven't, this is where we talk about anything SIP related. So any upgrades, anything to do with technical upgrades or governance upgrade, here's where you can come and advocate for your stuff or explain your stuff to the public, and we can help each other shape the SIP, whether it's a big SIP like Bitcoin MEV or maybe a smaller SIP like just a standard for some wallet related features that you can all talk about here, and we all help each other shape, get all those feedback in to really help make the SIP much more holistic. Yeah, so here in this call, I also give everybody a quick update on what's in the pipeline in terms of the SIP idea, whether it's early idea or what's in the development or what's close to being ratified. And just to recap, so we have SIP 22, 23, 24 all ratified basically. SIP 19 just need a bit of paperwork on GitHub and they will be ratified, but it's met all the criteria. And those are the ones down the line. And the early ones that's sort of close to become closest getting into the SIP process is are things like Bitcoin MEV and Orphan blocks. And those two are probably the biggest one that we need to talk about as a community, because it's not just relying on the core developers' opinion. We need to have much more opinions, much more eyes on impactful SIP like this. So the core developer can make sure we are working on the correct implementation before they get the work started. Yeah, so those I'll talk a little bit more about later, but Werner's suggestion for listing listing the USCX trade also is part of the early conversation that we need for SBTC, and the one that sort of organically came from a builder who wants to have a standard for sort of more advanced multi-sig smart contract wallet. That's also in the pipeline, and they are working around a way where they don't need the actual SIP to actually implement, so sort of in between method until the SIP is actually live and ratified. So those are sort of the interesting ones. We do still have BNS V2, Bitcoin derivation path, various other ideas that's sort of waiting for more input. So if you're interested in any of those, please go to GitHub or go to Stacks forum. You'll find those ones. But just to talk a little bit more about the Bitcoin MEV and Orphan blocks. So Jesse has kindly created a new thread documenting and summarizing the two big efforts that we need to sort of focus as a community, the Bitcoin MEV and Orphan blocks. The two are separate, but I think some element do relate a little bit, and solving one does help a little bit solving the other. So although they are separate, but I think some conversation might cross over. And the new threads are on Stacks forum. So if you have any comments, any thoughts, please go and read up. And we need to sort of help the community be aware of these two and educate them, because community will have to vote on the solution, and therefore everybody needs to be educated up about these two sort of upgrades. And just to sort of summarize what's been happening on the Bitcoin MEV side specifically, there has been 4 solutions on the table, and proposal 1 and 4 are the ones that the core devs are actually considering, and those 2 are the ones that need more people chiming in and feedback. And 2 has been dropped from the current conversation. Not to say like in the future they cannot be done, but I think the most immediate thing that we can do as a community are perhaps a proposal 1 and 4, which are more favored. But if you have any other opinions, you can still offer it back. And let me put a link.
I've got to drop your roll. I think I just lost power here.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll get back on.
Hello? Jesse? Okay, no problem. It's all good. Let me find the link to this document. So if you want to take a look, please do. Okay, and over the past few days, I've asked if the core devs, because it can be a bit quite overwhelming to just go in general. Are they to have any comments about those solutions? So I've asked if the core devs can come up with a few questions, more targeted questions to help them. So I dropped the 3 questions on Stacks Forum too, basically about which proposal seem they can address those fundamental issues well. So please go and take a look at those questions. And over the next week, I'll be amplifying these stuff too. So I think the game plan is to get more community feedback on these targeted questions to help the core devs. And then the next step, I'm hoping to arrange calls with the most relevant people that have been chiming in on some of these topics in the same room on a SIP call, such as DNG on this call. And there's a few others who are interested and have the knowledge to actually move the needle together with the core devs. So I'm planning to do that over the next week or 2. So if you have any better ideas how we can actually help this topic move on, please just let me know. So yeah, I'll leave the floor open to people. But DNG, do you have any thoughts, or Jason?
Not quite to add. I think the goal for me today was just to figure out where some of the resources are, kind of the current status of things, and looking at what's been shared so far. That's some excellent info to start with.
Likewise for me, just kind of keeping up to date on how things are going and where things are at. So no questions for me. Cool.
Yeah, like Jason, if you want any extra resources, just let me know. I think the best sort of go-to threads right now are the 2 threads on Stacks Forum, because Jesse has kindly summarized them basically into 2 separate work streams. So I think the top level updates, what's going on in each, are in those. But for the big, I think the orphan blocks, Frigger is almost leading it a little bit more, or he has more say, and he's actually submitted the SIP on the GitHub. So if you are interested in that one, I will drop in the chat too. But yeah, that one is a slightly separate conversation, although can be somewhat related. And so just let me drop in the chat. And from my understanding, the core devs are trying to focus on Bitcoin MEV. But if Bitcoin MEV happen to help orphan blocks, I think it will be a great achievement too. So over the next few weeks, I would say Bitcoin MEV is probably on the top of everybody's mind, at least the core devs perspective. But yeah, the Word doc with the 4 solutions, have I dropped in the chat? I think I have, yeah. So those 4 are probably good to look at, but they have much more detail in them. So if you want the top summary, go to the Stacks forum. If you want more details about each actual solution or proposed solution, go to the Word doc. And then if you want to help answer some of the specific target questions, you can go by this particular post, which is also on Stacks forum. So yeah, I hope that helps.
Yeah, and here I'll just add in there that yeah, definitely more engineers are going to be focused on this now that we kind of have gotten past 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. And so it is able to become a focus again for at least several different engineers. So I think we'll definitely see some movement here soon. And it's great to get more feedback on the ideas that are out there so far. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, so my current plan is to list all the most relevant people, and I'll work together with the SIP editors to amplify to all the relevance and the general public to get as much feedback as possible. And we collect them over the next week or 2, maybe. And then we have a conversation like a Zoom call, and I'll invite some of those people who actually commented, plus the greater community all come together, together with the core devs. And I hope it will be a productive session for the core devs. Do you think that approach is okay?
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
Yeah, because the last SIPCO chat with Aaron, I think he was asking about getting more community feedback, but I think maybe I'm just sort of helping to narrow down a little bit and take the step-by-step action to actually try and get community feedback. So I'm really hoping this effort could help you guys. Okay, if there's any other comments, I will give the time back to everybody, and then we'll hopefully have Fridger couldn't be on today. Fridger was talking about orphan blocks. Let's see if I can get him on next Friday to talk about Bitcoin MEV or orphan blocks, or the week after. So we should be having some very interesting SIP conversations coming up over the next few weeks. So just keep your eyes out for announcement. So thank you everybody for coming, and see you next week.
Thanks, Hero. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks.